Perfect. Okay, Friday afternoon. We love Fridays. Weekend is coming, and this weekend we'll be thinking about AllStars Digital for a comeback AMA with us to update us a little bit on their progresses and the new and upcoming hot events. So today with us there's Youssef, the CEO, Akash, CPO, and also Dave. Sorry, you don't appear there, so I don't remember what's your qualification in the project, but welcome,
Dave,
you guys.
great. Just Dave.
So welcome, you guys. I love to have you here and have you back. So welcome again to our lounge, I guess.
Thank you.
So the guys came in hot, and they have like a super fancy deck that will drive a little bit the initial part of the session. So I would like you guys to maybe just give a quick introduction of yourself for the people who missed the first AMA, and then command me through the deck, and well, it's gonna be super awesome, I guess.
Sure. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. So let me start, and then I'll pass the mic to Akash and Dave. Can you hear some echo, guys? I do hear echo back.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, let me start then. I'm Youssef Mechahouri. I'm the CEO of AllStars Digital. And yeah, as we've been here last time, we have so much to tell you guys new. My background, just for those who don't know me or forgot, is basically equity derivatives trading. I have been head of trading for Tier 1 banks for the past 15 years. And I'm bringing my skills to the crypto space. And we are building a project which is a mix of crypto, finance, and trading.
So yes, Youssef, they're like confirming that there's a little bit of echo in the channel. Not sure who is the source though, because I cannot see anyone else lighting up while you speak.
Puffer, I think it might be you. If you go on mute now, let's see what happens.
Let's try, yeah.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. Yes.
Slightly better? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, was my headphones too loud then? Sorry, Youssef, please go on.
Yeah, thanks. So sorry, we gotta run this AMA without you. Yeah, Akash, you want to give a little bit of background about yourself?
Yeah. Hello, Nordic Wales Lounge. It's really great to be back. This time we've got different technical problems, but bear with us. Now, my name's Akash Garu. I'm this Chief Product Officer. It's an unusual name for a job title. But what does a Chief Product Officer do? Well, I'm using like 20 years of my previous experience that I've gained from engineering and building technology products in fintech and trading predominantly. And so that's really coming in handy for this project, because what we've got here to talk about is the world's first digital sports exchange, which has got 4,000 tradable assets, which are athletes from the football world and 1,000 athletes from the cricket world. And you can trade them on our platform as if you were trading a regular asset class, as if you were trading a futures product or a stock. And this incredible invention we put together over 2 years of painstaking work, getting things right, and getting price movement and getting sort of like a return on your speculation as well. And we're going to spend the next 40, 50 minutes helping you understand our product so that you can get a great idea of what our project is trying to achieve. There's a lot of things going on in our project, right? Not only is there the actual exchange that we just talked about, there'll be a coin that supports it. There's a digital currency. We'll come on to that. an NFT collection, and future plans as well around fantasy, DeFi gaming, other sports. The list is endless. So hopefully we don't make things too complicated. We'll keep it simple because we got a 4-week plan right in front of our nose that we want to tell you about. But we'll obviously expand our conversations to include all the things within our ecosystem, and so you're aware of them when you go away. This is a great project.
So, Papa, we're still getting that loop back. Can you possibly just mute your mic when you're not talking?
I think I know why, because I shared the video with the audio, with the PC audio, you see, so it's loop backing. So maybe let me just drop off and join back in, or just let's do like this. Sorry for the hassle. Then I stop sharing.
Just go on mute.
No, I was on mute, but it's because I'm sharing the computer audio, I think. Sorry. Yeah?
Okay. All right.
Okay. So yes, you introduced briefly to the concept of the project, right? And we see the first slide that's touching the main 3 key points, I guess, that we are going to cover in the presentation. Youssef?
Yes. I was just going to very briefly introduce myself. I'm Dave Young. I'm the head of content and communities. I got a kind of long history in media and broadcast. Started off in radio, actually. Spent some time in music TV, which was really good fun. Worked in viral video, sort of online video, and I've kind of, now this brings me towards Web3. So it's been an exciting journey through all kinds of different media, and I've kind of worked with organisations like the BBC. Channel 4 here in the UK, which is one of the national broadcasters, Sky, Amazon, and Red Bull. So hopefully lots of good experience in making great content and reaching out and building communities. So it's really good. This project, kind of finally brings my love of football together with media, and having a really, really great time doing it.
That's awesome. Thanks for the introduction, guys. Please cue me when you want me to change slide, for sure.
I think we've got the product videos. The next slide up, Akash, if you wanted to introduce that.
Yeah. So I'm coming back to the. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, coming back to the chat. So this you're about to see is our product video, which helps everyone understand the product in just less than 2 minutes. So please bear with us, right? It takes all the talking out, and you can just get a good understanding of what our project tries to achieve in one go. So let's roll.
Okay, now I need to share with system audio. So Telegram is not super for that, we found out. There you go, share with system audio. I hope it will play the audio, let me know.
Yeah, it's working.
Yes.
What makes an athlete truly exceptional? Power, skill, accuracy, vision. Today, we have insight on performance like never before. We can map out how our favourite sports stars are expected to play and measure how well they're doing over a game, a season, and even their entire career. Because sport today is driven by data. With AllStars Digital, you can capture that data, then trade your players and earn from their real-life performances. Watch your favourite tournaments, the biggest sports events around the world, and take up a position. All using the AllStars Coin, a new digital currency that's enabling a sports staking revolution. Why limit yourself to binary choices, wins and losses, when we have all this insight? After all, sport is in the details, the key moments. Let's play the game like it's really played. With a single index price that goes up and down, based on real-life performances recorded in thousands of match data points. When your players do well, so do you. Close your position when it suits you. And with all transactions visible on the blockchain, it's secure, quick, and simple. AllStars Digital gives this generation a new stake in the game. It's time to trade your passion. Join us today at allstarsdigital.io or follow us on social.
Cool, really cool video. Congrats. Now, bear with me just a second because I need to eliminate the audio loop back. It's kind of strange Telegram feature, if you wish. There you go, and we are back. So the video is packed with content. We saw a lot of displays for statistics, and we understood that we'll be tokenizing human beings finally and their performance in sports.
Yeah, and if you could get to the next slide, please.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah.
There you go.
What? That's it. Right. So this is what we'd love everyone to understand. It's like what you saw on that video was the narrator telling you about having a chance to stake in the game. We know there are 3.5 billion sports fans out there who follow football and 1.5 billion sports fans that follow cricket. And we've taken those two sports and we've made tradable asset classes of all of those athletes that play in the major leagues in those two sports. And so we're bringing something closer to, we're taking that element and bringing it closer to those people who already trade assets in the Web3 world. So communities start colliding here. So if you take a view of this, what we're trying to show here is that here you see there's Bruno Fernandes there who plays in the Premier League in the UK. And you can buy or sell that player, and that price will move in the market, and you can build up a portfolio of players that you think are going to perform well or not perform well. You go short on them as well, and that portfolio will look exactly the same way as your portfolio looks now on any of your tradable asset classes that you have on an exchange at the moment. We'll have a book. We'll have charts, the depth of market. You'll be able to connect with community. You'll be able to analyze your charts. You'll be able to discuss who the hot players are. You'll be able to look at trending graphs. So that's the real innovation here. Is like we've taken something traditionally that's been interacted with as a binary bet, usually from traditional sportsbook providers. What we've done here is brought it into the Web3 world, so that it looks exactly and it works the same way as all the exchanges that you guys are already used to interacting with. And so our exchange will have the regular coins that you normally would see trading, but it also has 4,000 soccer or football stars as assets and about 700 cricket stars as assets. So it's an incredibly new, the revolutionary thing that hasn't existed up until this time now. And so, yeah, they are, you could say, tokenized players, but they will trade a bit more like a perpetual future on our exchange. So that's a breakthrough in trying to explain what the narrator was telling us about in the video. I think the next thing that normally comes up is, how does the pricing work? And I think the best thing to do is like hand this over to Yusuf now to explain a bit more about pricing.
Good segue. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Aken. So pricing, what we have tried to do is to make it as simple and relatable as possible, even though behind the scene, it's quite complex. I'll tell you what we do behind the scene, and I will tell you how this appears to you guys on the platform. So behind the scene, what we do is we collect, for every single player playing a game, we collect more than 500 data points live from the pitch. So as soon as Benzema, for example, scores a goal, we get that information straight away. Lewandowski, Messi, any game on the 5 European leagues. So we cover Spain, Italy, France, Germany, and England. Okay, so We collect those data, we process them into our index engine, and then we bring together all this data to build a single and unique index per player. And this index will behave the same way as Bitcoin will behave, or Tesla stock, or Facebook stock. It's a proper asset and moves the same way as the others. And the way it moves is very relatable. As soon as a player performs well, scores a goal, makes an assist, does few interceptions, his price will go up. And as soon as he does something not great on the pitch, he misses a penalty, he gets a yellow carded, he makes a foul, his price will go down. So during 90 minutes, for every player that we cover, you get to see his index performance going up and down based on exactly what you see on TV. So on a good game, for example, when Mo Salah for Liverpool scored a hat-trick against Man United, I think his price went up 18% within 90 minutes. That's quite huge. Even in the crypto space, 90 minutes, 18%, that's not something that we see every day. On the other hand, if a player doesn't play well, I don't know, misses a penalty, gets red carded, and makes a lot of foul, his price might go down 10%. And either way, you guys are able to invest by buying the player performance or going short and selling the player performance. So that's pretty much how it works. And yeah, I mean, if you join us and look on our platform, you will see that actually alongside the football players' performance, you can also trade Bitcoin and other asset classes. So it's it's a new alternative asset class, as you can see now on Telegram. Yeah, we have football, finance, crypto, and everything.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think you also made some upgrades to the let's say the app from the last time, because it looks even sleeker. So congrats still, and I'm still impressed about it. So really nice to see. And sorry, I didn't mind to interrupt you. Yes.
Just click on Erling Haaland there, who's your top trending player, I think. Click on his face. Okay, and then so what you're seeing here is that you've got some background statistics on what is going to power his price. So these are the sort of performance statistics that are built up over time. And then if just below his picture, you'll see there's a couple of tabs, one which says chart. Click chart. Okay, and that there shows you his price basically over last, what's it, about 2.5 years, right? And that is the graph of a player in exceptional form, rising, from the kind of starting point that he came on the exchange at $10 and going up to now. You tell me.
It's a 4x, clean 4x.
There you go. Yeah. So, and also just to note, okay, this is a product called AllStars Trader. So this is not AllStars Digital, which we're about to launch, but this is our MVP product, which is kind of in test in limited territories at the moment, and has been so for about 18 months or so. And so what we've got here is a real world business, which has been in development for over a couple of years and has been testing for a significant slice of that time. So this isn't kind of vaporware. This isn't a dream. This is something which is really happening and which we're now about to amplify hugely by bringing it on as a new product called AllStars Digital.
Yeah, during last day anyway, I had a lot of fun by understanding that some of your developers who are not really into, let's say, the sports, into sports, they were like kind of they had to go through thousands and thousands of hours of watching matches just to capture the essence of the statistics, right?
Well, that's what's taken the investment of time. It's like we couldn't just build this and just imagine it works. You had to go and test it and relate it to real life. And now we've got a price that moves and it relates to real life. And so, actually, sometimes it doesn't. It kind of goes against your intuition, because this is the thing about, as human beings, we've got a feeling that someone's done really well. But actually what we've got here is that something that breaks down the stats and proves things in a different way. Yeah. It actually just says, do you really think he did that well? And actually, the data doesn't lie, and that's why ours is like, as I think Dave said, it's like you can't argue against it, and actually sometimes it settles some arguments as well. But what's actually sometimes good is that the man of the match on AllStars sometimes is not the man of the match that's awarded, and ours is more empirical. It's using scientific process to get there. So it's
human perception against machine perception, finally, right?
Yeah.
Because
so it's so it takes the guessing out of things. But anyway, look, I think what you'll have is like sports fans who start to understand the platform, start to understand the community that's also trading, and starts to use different elements like analysis, past knowledge, look at market movement. All of these things come into play just as they do for picking a stock in any normal market.
Yeah, it's really interesting also, and then maybe if you want, we can move on with the next slide. But what we said last time, and I would like our audience to understand, is that this kind of asset, being truly a real world asset, right, is not so easy or even impossible to manipulate, right? So it gives a strength, an intrinsic strength to the asset itself, which is probably unknown to other types of investments. Maybe something in my mind comparable to real estate, if you wish, right? In regards to the fact that it's existing in the real world, and no whale or no organization can scheme to manipulate it, right? So this is, for me, something that's really important and also really promising, because we know a lot of stories, we've heard a lot of stories as well regarding investments opportunities. And for me, this kind of idea is really reassuring somehow.
Thank you.
Thanks. So would you like to move on?
I guess what's
let's
really
move to that
important
slide.
is... Yeah, I mean, Akash, I was just going to say that I think in some respects, the Nordic Whales community today, you're definitely welcome to move the slide on there, Puffer. For the Nordic Whales community today, the platform is the business which is coming, right? But the really important and interesting thing for this community today is what we're going to do in the next couple of weeks, which is launch the coin, the crypto coin, which this trading exchange is going to work on. And I think that's probably the most interesting investment opportunity that's in front of this community today. And I just wanted to kind of separate those two parts of the project, and I think we're going to kind of come towards the coin now. Then.
Okay, perfect. Yes, indeed, because you released some really interesting news on your Telegram about it, right? So I guess you guys are really looking forward to share those two, right? To talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to do some reveals now, things that we're telling you about directly. So, on this slide, let's quickly tell you where we've been since we last spoke on Nordic Whale. So we've been busy with a lot of plans, by the way, right? Because we know we're launching, we've got multiple launch elements to do, multiple launch milestones coming up. And so those are coming up on the slide after this. But let's just say, what have we been up to? We've been busy building our platform and growing our community. And the thing about growing our community with the topics that we have is actually we're blessed in some ways, because there's already large communities out there that are sports fans, and large communities out there that are crypto natives as well. And what we're doing, for us, it's easy to go and grab and combine them and bring together probably the world's most passionate community in one place. And so that's been an enjoyable experience so far. We've grown to about 100,000 members amongst all of our community channels, and we're leaving it to now grow organically by letting people pass word of mouth and move things forward. And we'll give them the incentive to do that as well. So we're still marketing it, but we're just allowing it to become natural. And so we're coming out of that, and now we can focus now. We as a team are focusing on the next big thing that we have to do, which is the IEO, or the TGE is happening as we speak. But the IEO will turn up, and I'm going to give you guys a bit of a heads up here on the date. The day that we know that we're all comfortable with, the project's ready for, to launch our coin for the first time on a centralized exchange will be the 2nd of November at 1500 UTC. That's when the AllStars Coin goes live. And we'll talk a little bit more about what the AllStars Coin is. I'm sure Yusuf will explain exactly why we need it on the platform. But then we're in a bit of a rush because literally near about 2 weeks later, the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup starts. Our platform has to go out, has to be ready in multiple languages. It'll be ready at this moment, our plans are to be ready in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. And then we let fly. We're going as far and fast as we can. In the middle of this, there's another milestone release. We'll talk about that in a slide or two to come. And after this, we've got still more work to do, right? We're moving straight into our roadmap. We've got Web3 elements. We've got other sports to talk about. So this is just the flight plan to get off the ground. And that's what we're here to tell you about. And so the last time we came, there was a lot more about the talking plan about where we're trying to go. This time, we're almost telling you we've got going and we're not stopping now. So I think we probably need to move to the next slide.
Also, just maybe important details that was a question, one of the best questions last time, and indeed someone asked if the national matches will count on the statistics of the listed players, and that's why probably you guys need to do some heavy preparation for the World Cup, right?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So that actually let me explain a little bit more about the product itself. So when you see Erling Haaland, you see that asset class is Erling Haaland, not Erling Haaland necessarily playing for Manchester City. That's Erling Haaland. So when he plays for his national team, we still take his performance metrics.
Yeah,
so
perfect. Thank you.
Chart. So what we're going to probably see is that the guys who play in the World Cup will get more games than the guys who just play in the National League, in the domestic leagues. So there's a bit more opportunity for their price rises, but there's also a bit more opportunity for their price, the negative effects on their price as well. So, it's a double-sided sword.
Yes, indeed. It's a kind of a stochastic, if you wish, event, the match, right? Can be good luck, bad luck, or good performance, bad performance. Okay, thanks a lot for the clarification. I will move on with the next slide if you deem so.
So yeah, quickly, ABC, right? October, November, and then after that, beyond. So what did we do in October? So super busy October. We we announced our partnership with Aurora DAO through a project called Aurora Labs. We're working closely with them. We'll be AMA in the Aurora community early next week. The reason why did we choose Aurora? Because it's a really, really great project in terms of like blockchain technology. And one of the things that we're really all excited about is the ability for us AllStars to have our own AllStars chain. And once that happens, the DApps and the DeFi possibilities become, they start to amass. And therefore, we're really excited about that. And that's something that we can talk about later on in 2023 when all that technology is ready. And then we're October. We've got an exchange to announce. I can tell you now, we've just put the press out on that. That's Bitmart. So we're launching on Bitmart. Why? It's a very modest beginning for us. We know that the strength of the project is more about one flash in the pan IEO event. Like, so if we were to queue up on, say, a larger exchange like, I don't know, Huobi or Bybit or something like that, of course, right, there'll be a lot more excitement around this. But we're more confident about taking our community to the right venue and actually get the coin launched in a very sustainable way. And that's what we want to see happen. Because we've got more project elements coming out after that. It's not all about flash in the pan for us. We're around for a long time. And also want to say, that our CertiK audit. Now we've been at 99% for a while, okay, because there's one task left to do, and that's literally mint the coin and move the coin to the vesting contract. And all those steps are just not, they are minutes worth of work to do. It's just that we want to be super careful that we do everything in the right order. So we've got some very clever developers just making sure everything is right. So this is not exactly holding us back. This is just like, when is the moment to do it? And then the CertiK audit will be finished. So we'll keep you up to date on that item as well. Nice. And then going to November, ASX gets its initial exchange offering, and we're really excited about that. We will be telling the community about the countdown to that. So we'll keep you informed every step of the way that we need to do, whether it's an audit tick or whether it's the testing is done, all of that. We're sharing everything now, so you know exactly where we are. And get involved, get into the community, ask the right questions. If you're not sure about something, please. And so what we're finding now is our community have got into the project enough to be also champions of it, and they're helping answer questions as well. So it's turning into quite a lively community. And then we're going to talk about the special series NFTs. We're launching a project which is not based on NFTs, by the way. So it's based on tradable assets. I just want everyone to be clear about that. So when you trade Bruno Fernandes, you're not buying an NFT. You're trading Bruno Fernandes, the asset. But on top of that, we have got a special series NFT, and I'd love to talk to you about that in a minute's time. And then the AllStars Digital exchange launches, and we're holding off launching that because we want to pack in all of the features we want to go live with for the World Cup. And so we're holding off launching that right now, but we have got things lined up. There's things going on the Play Stores, etc. So we're not going to be caught short. We know that we'll be there on that day, and we want to get the languages in place as well. So that happens around about mid-November, several days before the World Cup starts, and then into 2023 and beyond as well, right? So we've got ambitions all the way through that. Now, cricket, we'll make a really big effort on cricket and make that work. Sorry, make that a strong feature of our product set around the IPL time. Or the Indian Premier League play a 8-week series every year, and is very, very well attended and watched. And so we'll be ready for that. And then we want to talk about some other sports, right? So this is something that generally Yusuf usually handles because he understands basketball better than all of us. Right? He plays, right, and he understands it. The basketball's coming to our platform, as well as esports later on down the line. And I want to quickly talk about esports. Most of the sports we've talked about so far have a real-world event. Then that event has to be translated into our digital index. Now, esports is different. It's digital from the beginning and remains digital. So this is like, a new way of connecting for our products. And we're so excited about being able to do that. We've got data scientists and analysts who just, that they'd be really up for the challenge of getting that product working. And then why not? We've got this thing that it's hinged around the performance of players. And actually there's a world out there. There's millions of people trading fantasy sports. And so we're going to take our products and enable them to trade fantasy sports in real time, right? So this revolutionizes fantasy as well. The only thing we're holding, so we've got so much to do to focus on getting AllStars Digital live. This is kind of being pushed back into 2023. But if it was down to some of us, we would have already gone live this way. But you know what? Patience is going to pay off. And so we're doing the steps in the right order. And then it's all about the DAO, because it's a community-led product. People will come around this. They'll be fascinated, but they'll also be, chomping at the bit to help make decisions and move the product forward, because they'll be too engaged to say otherwise. And so the DAO elements coming up, whether it's the NFT or whether it's the elements of enabling fantasy and all the DApps elements as well. So we're going to talk more about that later on in 2023.
That was awesome. Let me just drop you a couple of questions here. Maybe something that was touched already last AMA, but I think is really worth, let's say, underlining. So, and I will take a question from the audience just as, let's say, a spark. There's Favorite MK asking more or less, what is that makes your product unique and different? But indeed, you guys are basically the front runner, right? A little bit the first of your kind. So is this question really applicable? Will you have some sort of reference or, let's say, other products that will, let's say, compete with you? Or what is your position immediately after launch?
Well, look, we've spent so much effort. We spent a good amount of time getting here, but we've got an amazing team. We've got a lot of talent in our team who can help achieve this vision, and our founders are also from positions of like really good experience. So why am I saying all of that? Because actually, if somebody wanted to copy, well, they'll have to get all the right people to be able to do it to start with, right? And then they'll still take them the same amount of time, right? So we know we're about 2 years on everyone else. That's number one. But the other one is, and here's the other thing: if somebody wants to copy us, well, that's fabulous. That just demonstrates we're doing the right thing, because copycats will come, right? And actually, what we'll become in that place, because we've got the head start, is the reference price, the Bloomberg number, right? The price that you go to assess where the asset should be in the market. So that's fine. So, you know, replication.
That's the dominant position, if you wish, right? Because, for example, an Axie Infinity for the play to earn or whatsoever. So you'll be on top of the food chain, so to speak, with, let's say, not maybe super fit metaphor, right? That's where you would like to be at the end of the day when you start a business, right?
Yeah, but plus it's all about ecosystem, right? So other people do something that's slightly, you know, changes the needle slightly. And actually, sometimes it's better actually, rather than just avoid that and see it as competition, is maybe sometimes work together and like build out a larger ecosystem. So we're looking forward to those challenges too.
Okay, perfect. Would you like to move on to the next slide?
Yeah, I think so. There's some excitement to be talked about here because
drums roll.
All right. Okay. Let's just explain this. Okay. So everything we said before this is not NFTs. Okay. So everything I just explained before is the tradable asset classes, and those prices move up and down as those soccer stars and those cricket stars perform or don't perform. Okay. Now we talked about fantasy. What is fantasy? Fantasy is usually when people pick players and put them together in a team that never exists. It cannot exist because they put the best players and put them all together, right? And they're competing with other people, with plotting one team against another. So we said, what if we did something similar, right? So we went about creating 11 five-a-side soccer teams with some of the biggest names in soccer, right? And these five-a-side teams will probably never happen, right? They'll never, in real history, never get together. But we went ahead and did it. So we've got this team which has got Messi in it, and we've got another team that's got Ronaldo in it, and some of the biggest names, you know, right? And then we've got a forward, a midfielder, a defender, a goalkeeper, and a wild card in each team. And we put them together, and we said, hang on, these teams got a characteristic, and this team's got another characteristic. And then we played on the characteristics, and we brought the characters to life in a kind of fantastic way, in a kind of a dreamed up way. And so we went to a art design or gaming design house called Kavuru Games, and they are famous for already being the creators and the makers of a number of Fortnite characters and skins. And they've also worked heavily with Lucasfilm around the character creation in Disney. And we talked to them about our ideas for NFTs, and they love the concept, and they've been working with us for a couple of months now. And we finalized these 11 characters that in some ways represents some kooky characteristic of all the footballers that we're trying to represent. I'll give you an example. So we've got one team called the GOAT, and in that is Lionel Messi, the greatest of all time.
Okay, now I see. I see.
We've got another team called the Showman, and in that, I think we've got Neymar and Paul Pogba, and these guys don't shy away from being like front and center stage. So we're kind of playing on these things, right? So we've created 11 of them, and we're ready to launch those as NFTs. Now, if you go to the next slide, I'll tell you a little bit more about the mechanic of why it's fun.
Let's go.
So we don't want you to see the faces just yet because we're not at the launch stage, right? But so I'll give you an idea. I just mentioned the Showman. We've got one called the Assassin that's got Ronaldo in it, and we've got one called the Beast, and that's got Andrew Robertson in it, for example, right? But because we said they got 5 players, those 5 players move up and down in the market as they perform or don't. But we've taken a % of each of those players, so therefore you create an index of indices. So here you can see the green line, the red line, and the yellow line. And that is the Beast, that's the Showman, and that's the Assassin. And there are 9 more. And if you buy one of these NFTs, at the end of the season, whatever the profit is in that fund gets redistributed to all the people who hold the NFT. So it's like an NFT fantasy game. And beyond that, we've got the 500 that we print for each one of the characters. One of them is platinum, 25 are gold, 50 are silver, and 74 are bronze, etc. Right, and the other ones are all the standard ones. And if you get one that's more precious, then we multiply your takings, your win at the end of the year. That's one of the things that happens. The other one is you get entries directly into our loyalty scheme at that level. So 11 people who buy these NFTs when they launch early November will suddenly become part of our platinum loyalty band, if that makes sense. And they didn't have to earn their way there over successive years of successive long period of holding our coins. So there's a lot of good utility coming out of these NFTs, as well as the art value, as well as the tradable value, as well as the interest in the game that they represent as well.
Okay, this is really interesting because we had a question from the audience, and also last time we discussed a little bit about royalties specifically. Last time we said that you guys are dealing with data, so you are not really dealing with the image of any of the player, and now you're basically representing the statistics of a single player with a fantasy version of him, right? So that's still kind of buys you out from having to legally own some kind of contract, correct?
Yeah, look, we're not going to go and get the image rights for Ronaldo to do an NFT. But what we can do is say, Ronaldo's in our team called Assassin, and we can put something else out in that way. And it's still exciting because if Ronaldo's performing, and he's 40% of that fund, by the way, the Assassin fund, if he's performing and he's pulling that fund up, well, then you get some prize at the end of it as well. There's some money coming back to you and getting redistributed to
sure, an aggregation of let's say the statistics of the player of a certain kind. So this, I guess, answers a little bit the question from Favorite MK in the chat, asking a little bit about problems with trademarks and whatsoever. We are always dealing with data, right? So that's the true intent, which it's not direct image, or let's say, selling image-rated content is just data, and that's how it works out finally, right? Also, there's another friend. I don't remember your name, but I will find out. Catherine, she's asking, will there be NFT for coaches of football players like Carlo Ancelotti and Pep Guardiola? So she's asking, okay, players are important, but also trainers are important. So will you guys ever factor in as well football trainers or sports trainer performances? Kind of a fun question, if you wish.
Yusuf, what do you think?
that's a very good, interesting question. The thing, as long as we get data, I mean, we can do it. The thing about coaches, and we've thought a little bit about it, is that during the game, I mean, it's very difficult to tell how much is coming from their coaching and how much is coming from the players playing. So the only thing that we can basically say is, okay, they won, they lost. So it's not going to look as interesting as a football player where basically something happened continuously during the 90 minutes. But you know what? Actually, for the NFT, maybe we can do that, right? Because at the end of the season, if Pep Guardiola,
I just found the question really funny, because actually it's important too. But we're approaching to the 1 hour mark, so you want to move on with the presentation maybe, and then take some more questions eventually.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Perfect. So let me move on to the next slide.
So this, I think, Prophet, is when you go and switch your audio thing.
Just give me a sec then. Huh? But Telegram is like a little bit disappointing on this feature. So there you go. And voila.
Great job, man.
Thanks, sorry.
Okay, let's roll the video. So people are going to ask, what utility do you have? And it's all in this video, so keep watching.
Despite what some people might say, sport isn't just about winning. It's about being part of something bigger than yourself. A movement. Which is why AllStars Digital, the world's first sports performance trading exchange, is part of the bigger ecosystem. Fantasy gaming, NFT collections, a metaverse sports exchange, and DApp games. A world of opportunities to watch, trade, and earn. And it's all enabled by a single currency. The AllStars Coin, one that offers more utility. With AllStars Coin, you can get VIP discounts on trading commissions, as well as the ability to stake and earn. In AllStars Play, it can get you free access into AllStars fantasy sports contests and entry into exclusive Mega Coin contests. As the transactions and revenue increase, AllStar Digital will buy back AllStar Coin from the market to support and grow its value. And by holding AllStars Coin, you can also earn from special series NFTs and be a voice in the DAO, voting for NFT icon development as well as DeFi player listings. Going into Web3 and the metaverse, the sporting possibilities for AllStars Coin are endless. And they can all be right there now in your wallet. So, do you feel like being part of something bigger? AllStars Coin is launching soon. Find out more and get early access at allstarsdigital.io or follow us on social.
Nice. So, hype for the listing, right? For the token generation event.
So that explains a little bit more about the extensive possibility of utility. But there's a fundamental reason why we need the coin anyhow, and that's to do with the core currency on our exchange. And Yusuf knows how to explain that a lot better than I do.
Yes, sure. So actually, there are a lot of amazing factors about this token. The first one is basically, why is the US dollar so powerful these days? Is because every single commodity or transaction is done in US dollars, right? So if you want to buy gold, if you want to buy oil, you have to have US dollar. Even though you have euros, you convert them into US dollar and then you buy your commodity. And same thing happened with our exchange. To be able to trade, actually, we're not going to force you to hold our token. You can come and use USDT or BTC or even USD. But what we do behind the scene is for every transaction you make on our platform, we convert some of your token into ASX to allow you to buy the player's performance. And then when you want to cash out, we give you whatever token you want. Obviously, we will try to push our customers to stake the ASX, so there is no selling pressure back. But if you want to get your ASX back, you just need to keep in mind that, we as a platform are usually making more money on the way in than we're giving back on the way out. So there is a continuous buying pressure related to the volume. So every time someone trades on our platform, the ASX token price will go up. Okay, so as this product is going to go just crazy around the World Cup, we are going to expect to have a huge buying pressure and huge demand on our token during the World Cup. Then the second thing that we do is also have a lot of tierings about our loyalties that will allow our customers to have different staking options and different power. I think that's the slide that we are showing. Akash, you want to go through that one?
Yeah, look, because our product only works when we have community, right? Let's just be clear about that. So what we want to do is like, we deliver you the capabilities to do this stuff that you've never been able to do before. And the loyalty that we get back from our community that do it, we reward that, okay? So what we've done is create a tiered system where you can go up the ladder and loyalty. And ultimately, we're going to reward the top guys or the top tier of our traders and our loyal community with the platinum or the all-star level badge, whereby there's a lot of stuff you get there. You get our top level of staking. You get early access to IPOs, initial player offerings, or new players that come on the platform. We'll explain a lot more about that in the new year when we got that functionality all built and ready to go. And then your DAO power, your power for having a view in the market about how you want things to play out on our product, and players that we list, etc. It starts to increase rapidly as well, right? So and then we're going to create different clubs as well. So the access to the All-Star Club, that's something that will come around as well. So it's all about rewarding in staking terms and capability terms as well for our community that go up the runs on the tiering scheme. And there's a minimum amount that you need to do to qualify, which is like holding coin, a number of transactions when you trade, etc. But like those are going to be easy to understand. And so we'll do a little bit more work on this on our website, so you'll be able to see how the tiering system works. And then within our platform, you'll be able to see which one of those traders are at which level as well on loyalty. And so it will just become part of being, an all-star, really.
That's awesome. That's all new news for us, right? Because we see really everything taking shape 360 degrees in terms of marketing, in terms of growth, in terms of product, in terms of as well of community rewards, which is really important. Even more so for the retailing investor, right? So lovely. I'm really enjoying the content of your presentation.
Well, thank you.
Should I move on?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be questions at the end about this. So let's just, So look, let's just kind of summarize, because this is actually a presentation built to get it through in an hour. We're nearly there, right? So just a reminder, we are launching AllStars Coin, which is the currency that drives all of this. We're launching that on November the 2nd at 1500 UTC. So be ready. Get ready on Bitmark with your wallet and your login. Don't miss it, because once that price moves, it moves, right? So we're going to do a big job of we're on our road show. We've got AMAs to do literally every day next week and the week after. So we're going to continue. So we're spreading the word. You heard it here first, some of this stuff, but be in the right place. Get in the community, ask the right questions.
That's sweet, and it will be on Bitmark, we said, right?
Bitmark, yeah.
Perfect. And I guess we can move on to the
Yeah, Bitmark's where we start, okay? We need to just get through the World Cup, where we will be listing on other exchanges. We're already having conversations with the likes of KuCoin, OKX, Binance. We're having those conversations. It's just that the way we want to play it is that we want to start with control of how our project goes. That's why we're with Bitmark.
Are you planning as well maybe to launch further down the line on decentralized exchanges too?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we're talking about that. So that will happen successively. So we'll announce each one of those as we get there. So what else is it we're doing to reward our community, right? Well, we've got a World Cup competition running at this moment. You can get there on Twitter. You can go via Telegram as well. But like the entries in Twitter, follow, retweet, sign up to our platform. We're taking early access signups now. Those people who get early access will be rewarded when we launch. So, you know, we're all about sharing the love as well. So get on board. Two people will be going to the World Cup final, and it will all be down courtesy of AllStars Digital.
The final, man. Nice.
Yeah.
That sounds exciting.
The final, yes.
Yeah, I don't think Italy went to the World Cup this time. So shame.
I didn't see them on the list.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there's also like an interesting question, if I may steal some of your time. We are basically at 1 hour mark, but Paul Pablo is asking, and it's a question that I've seen a lot, but it's really specific. Like, for example, he's saying, we know that Karim Benzema just won the Golden Ball. I guess it's an award. I'm not sure. Does the price of Benzema increases in real time? So I guess he's asking if external events out of the playing field are also factored in for the, let's say, evaluation of the players.
Good question.
Yeah. So, I mean, the short answer is no. We only take what happens on the pitch to impact the performance. We had a long discussion among ourselves at the beginning if we wanted to include things that happen outside the pitch, but we decided not to because, you know, it's too subjective. Sometimes someone will think, oh, you know what, this newspaper article is quite positive about him, and others will say, actually, no, it's quite negative.
True.
So to get rid of all this subjectivity, we just take what happened on the pitch. And FYI, on our platform, Benzema last year was one of the top performers over the year. Mm-hmm. And that's how, this is quite logical given his season. And that could explain also on our hand why he won the Golden Boot.
You know what you just said made Paul Pablo question even more interesting, because there's subjectivity evaluating like real life events. But he was referring, and this is why I picked the question, he was referring to, let's say, an achievement he got from, I guess, a jury or like, a prize which is objective. So maybe there are some events that could include this level of objectivity. I don't know. Just thinking and brainstorming with our friend.
I think that's possible, Puffer, but what's interesting for me, okay, because one of the things I really love about AllStars Digital is this, what is called our match points rating, which effectively adds up. It's like an algorithm which creates a score for every player's performance in a match. And so it'll take shots at goal, goals scored, assists, passes, tackles, blocks.
Yeah.
You know, there's about 35 different measures which are kind of built into that algorithm, and we track about 300 different measures actually. And what, as Akash said earlier, what's brilliant is this is purely objective, not subjective.
Yeah.
So when an award is given, it's often down to, you know, someone who's been made a judge saying,
"That's true. That's true. That's true." I get what you're saying. Well. With nuance, there's always subjectivity, finally, right?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Okay, I see.
The long answer to Yusuf's reply earlier is that there is some influence that can affect a player's price when they are not on the pitch, and that is that their price can react to the way that a peer group is performing. So potentially, let's just say, Benzema has failed to score for kind of 3 weekends, but another striker, let's say Mohamed Salah, has done really, really well. He's in his peer group, and Mo Salah's continued strong performance will push down the performance of other strikers. But it's a kind of a smaller influence than the than their own actions on the pitch. Is that right?
But it's interesting because like this represents some, let's say, financial products that we see, which are, for example, dominance features on the dominance charts. For example, Bitcoin versus Ethereum. So there is like some a representation of the competitivity, if you wish, between players who are comparable, and it's I find it a really interesting mechanic that well, it's fascinating, right? Because the representation, algorithmic representation, must be quite complex and could be sometimes like fun, right? Because it could expose some really deep statistics, right?
Yeah.
So, Buffer, if you don't mind me saying that, going back to the scientific thing, it's actually a bit more than scientific. It's actually a very, very there's a formulaic approach which works in the financial services industry, which has been replicated here. Now, let me explain that. There are indices that you know about, and you see them in the paper and you see them on the news. The FTSE 100, the Dow Jones, the DAX, the DAX. We all know these are composite. These are composite indices made up of a load of constituting stocks.
Right.
And there's a percentage factor that plays out with each stock, and there are some. There's a bit more calculus involved in the smoothing out of that index. Those are elements. Those are formulaic approaches the financial services industry has been using for years. And the people, or Dev and the team that started this project, came from that world, and they used the same rigor and discipline and applied it to this. So the big argument we had internally was, well, we should include these subjects. And they said, well, no, because it now stops being a proper index. And we should stay true to being a real index. Because actually, when you benchmark that methodology, it can get audited and actually be certified as a proper index. And that's where we are currently. So there's no argument about subjectivity or manipulation or anything like that. There's a formula that's baked in stone.
That's true, and it makes me think that actually your NFT basically are kind of buying in a sort of dividends from an aggregated financial index already, right? So that could explain a little bit what's the use case to our friends listening. But so guys, we are a little bit over time. Sorry for that, but there's one last question from the community that I would really want to take. I'm not sure it's on point, but there's someone, Bert's, asking, how do we keep up with the distribution of the All-Star World Cup soccer jerseys? So is there anything like that going on, or is completely made up by our listeners?
I saw that question earlier, actually. I don't know about that. We did have a prize for a competition about a month ago, which was to win a shirt for the World Cup. And that was won and sent out. But we're not producing football shirts or anything like that.
Okay, Albert. At least he was on point, right?
No, he's on point. I love it. What he's seeing here is these NFTs that we've created. We had to create a kit for AllStars.
Oh, I see.
Digital. Okay. If people like the kit enough, vote. Come in, tell us about it in the community. If you like them enough, we'll make 11.
I got it.
We'll make 11.
I like it.
Okay, nice. Nice. I see it now. But and also, just as thing I would like to tell to our audience, I've been to your Telegram, guys, and I've noticed like, first, the massive growth. It's scary, almost. And secondly, how well animated it is. So add there, guys, because there are many activities, many fun things to follow up with. And don't miss out, because there's, like, as you've seen, really important giveaways and competitions. For example, I've seen that you just closed your first ever airdrop for 400,000 tokens. So there's going to be, I guess, some occasions as well to get involved, even if you don't have the means to invest directly, right?
Of course, yeah. And you don't have to like sport, but come along. If you're a keen investor, you'd like to see, you understand the concept of how big this market segment can be for us. Come along, follow, tell your friends, be in the right place at the right time. Hopefully, we don't bore you with the sport talk. But unfortunately, it's too there's too much passion going on, and we end up doing it a lot. So,
I'm just telling you that we have some real football ads in our lounge, so I'm sure that they will be all over. Yes, so guys. I'm sorry, we just stole a little bit more of your time. But if you want to add some remarks or some details, go over other things, please feel free to address directly the community. Of course, I didn't have let's say much time to pick the questions, but I've seen that Dave made a huge, terrific job in the chat helping me out. So thanks a lot, Dave. I really appreciate that.
Oh, and great,
for whoever, has some other questions, again, the invitation stands. Join AllStars Telegram, and I'm sure that the staff will be more than glad to answer you. So, guys, if you would like to wrap it up and to maybe repeat again some really important details that you want to stick on our foreheads, that's the moment for you. So please take it away and feel at home. I really like the session, and I thank you for that, by the way.
Can I have a shot at this, Akash and Youssef, just to summarize?
You go for it, Dave. You go for it.
I think the really important thing to take away today, everyone in the Nordic Wales group, thank you very much for being with us, is we've got a platform launching, and that platform is where you can trade those sports star assets, which are based on real match performance from players. It's clever, it's fun, and you can put money down in there and make investments and hopefully watch those investments grow. But for that platform to work, it's going to have a crypto coin, which will be underlying in it, and that will be the AllStars Coin. And the AllStars Coin is launching very soon, and we think that you guys in particular will be interested in that because it's a crypto product, and you guys are, we believe, kind of amongst the specialists in that area. So please check out our group and watch out, because that is coming very, very soon, and you really don't want to miss that opportunity when it launches, okay? So we've got a really exciting run-in now. We've got about 2 weeks to go. We've got AMAs happening pretty much every single day up until that launch now, with some of the biggest Telegram crypto groups on the planet, including, of course, you guys here, Nordic Wales. So we've done Golem Gems, Phoenix Holdings, Venom Calls. Next week we go in with Aurority, who are the official group of the Aurora technology product. We're in with Future Lounge, Coin Launch Lounge, and then we've got Caesar's Call still to come. We've also got a really bullish promotions run coming up. We're kicking off with some of the best marketing services groups around in global DeFi. We've got 2 huge promotional drives occurring in the final week. So this is a big, solid product. We've got major development announcements to make in the coming days, and all of those will go out through the specialist crypto PR agency, which is going to be targeted towards giving us press in the most influential financial publications in the world. So we are really, really out there. And then finally, on launch day, watch out, please. We've got a 5-hour live launch party, which will be happening on our AllStars Digital community group right here on Telegram. And you are definitely all invited for that. So keep an eye out. Hopefully we'll have some good fun on that. And we'll see the product launch, and we'll launch it successfully on your behalf if you're invested in it. So there's only one more thing to say from me, that the AllStars Coin is coming. So LFG.
It's good, huh? Really well done. Guys, you want to maybe add something if you wish?
Nothing to add on that. That's the way we want to end.
That was really, 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 really like perfect indeed. Youssef, maybe?
No, same. Cannot do better than that.
You shocked everyone, Dave. Everyone was like pending from your lips, so to speak.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay, guys. So
have a good weekend, everyone. Have a good weekend. We'll see you.
Thanks, Akash. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Youssef. The 2nd of November for the TGE. Let's hang out on AllStars and have fun. especially if you're into sports. But even if you're not, you're gonna trade some equities, some let's say resources that are probably more stable than tokens. So why not? If you like trading. And thanking you guys. It was a huge, really nice, interesting the second session. I was really proud for you to decide to come back. Now, if you wish to stay, we are happy, but we really need to do some housekeeping work with our, let's say, giveaways and our duck race. For tonight, I didn't have the chance to take so much question, and they've helped me out, but I think that one question that really stands out is the question from Pablo, which sparkled a little bit in the discussion about the subjectivities as well in juries and events that may feel like they are objective even outside the playing field, but the team decided not to factor in. So this went a little bit deeper with respect to something that was discussed as well during the first AMA, which in my opinion added a lot of value. So in the background, I'm preparing as well the usual 12-second super fast duck race, and we are ready to rumble. Start. Let's see. There's a legend now, so there's going to be a sprint from the back lines. So let's see. Yeah, look at that. Boom. Jambert is going to be the first duck. And today we have also a second giveaway since we just picked one question. So Jambert and Ella are the winners of the giveaways for the duck race. And this concludes today's session 2. Have a nice weekend, guys. Have a nice weekend, guests. Have a nice weekend, the whole world. And I'll see you next time. I see you on your TG group, guys. And thanks a lot again.
Thank you, Papa.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Lots of love. Bye.